How are you? Welcome to my kitchen. Today I want to talk with you about wholemeal salads. And by that, I simply mean that you grab everything you want for dinner and throw it in a salad bowl, put a nice dressing on it, and go to town. Two things will happen. One, you'll enjoy your vegetables more. And secondly, you'll probably cut down a little bit on your meat intake. But these are pretty rich things I'm going to make for you today, and they're very easy to do, and I think they're just marvelous. First of all, let's make a broccoli and chicken salad. Now, this means that you have to have your chicken cooked ahead of time. You see, I've poached this particular batch, so I have some chicken cooked ahead of time, and now we need to blanch the broccoli, and I want to chill that for a while, so let me show you what to do. When you blanch vegetables, please be sure and put a little oil in the pot. You notice that I have my vegetables already cut up, and let me talk to you a bit about broccoli. When you purchase broccoli, be sure that when you buy the broccoli, you'll check the bottom so that the stem does not have a big opening in it, a big cut. That would mean it is too fibrous. You know what I mean? It has a big opening in it. That means it is very tough stem, and you don't want that. Buy broccoli that is solid and tender and nice at the bottom. And I've cut it up into small flowerettes, small pieces, you see, and we're going to blanch this now. Oh, about 2 heads. About 2 heads of broccoli. My water is boiling, and I'm going to put in a shot of peanut oil. Simply because, oh, peanut oil's over here. Simply because I want to preserve the color of the vegetable, and a little oil will do that. Just a tablespoon or so, maybe 2, in several quarts of water, and now we'll throw in our vegetable, and it will stay bright green. And that's what you want. You want these salads to really look terribly appetizing. It's going to take just a minute to blanch this. And at that point, by a minute I'm lying to you, I mean about probably about 5 minutes, you see, because the water was just barely boiling. And at the end of that time, what I want you to do is to remove it from the pot and plunge it into cold water. What we don't want is overcooked vegetables. You see? Look how bright that green is. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? You see? They're much brighter now than they were when we put them in there. And the peanut oil will help that maintain its color. And certainly the cold water will stop the cooking and help it maintain its crunch, which is what we want. We want some crunchiness. Now, I would drain that, and then I have a batch here all ready for us that we can use right away. Cold salad, you see? Here's my broccoli. So into the broccoli now. This is already chilled, and it's very tender and nice. We're going to put some chicken. Oh, this is 2 or 3 chicken breasts. And then we're going to add, I bet that bowl isn't going to be big enough, huh? I get into these jams all the time. Let's get a bigger one. Here we are. There we go. That'll help. Now, to our broccoli, we're going to add some chopped green onions. I suggest 4 or 5, and I have mine already cut up because I have so many salads I want to make for you today. And cut them up fairly fine, you see? But not tiny. I can't stand everything all so finely ground that it no longer has any crunch to it. You know, you can't go too far on chopping vegetables. Just kind of whack them up so you can get them in your mouth without any embarrassing things sticking out the sides. You see, otherwise you're going to have something too tender and too cooked down. How about a cup of parsley? Have my 2 heads of broccoli, a couple breasts of chicken, 4 or 5 green onions chopped, a cup of chopped parsley, and now we're going to whip up a salad dressing. And the salad dressing is a snap to make. And I think you'll like this dressing. You can use it on other things as well. I want a cup of cottage cheese. Excuse me, I want a half a cup of cottage cheese. I have all the spoons around here. Here's a little one. Here we go. Half a cup of cottage cheese. And to that, I want to add a half a cup of mayonnaise. And I like good mayonnaise. Don't buy cheap stuff. Or if you want to cut down on fat, of course, you can use a low-cal mayonnaise. They call it imitation, and of course it isn't imitation at all. It simply means it has fewer calories in it, much less oil. All right, so far I have mayonnaise, cottage cheese. We're going to add a half a cup of milk, half a cup of each of these now, mayonnaise and cottage cheese. We're going to add half a cup of milk to thin this down. This is a very nice dressing. It's fairly low-cal if you use a low-cal cottage cheese and a low-cal mayonnaise. Then we want a tablespoon of olive oil to give it a little bit richer flavor. And then I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of wine vinegar. And you can use white or you can use red. I better not use red. You know, it's going to discolor, isn't it? If we put a red vinegar in here, it's going to really kind of upset the whole color scheme. So let's use a white vinegar. This is good Italian wine vinegar. A couple tablespoons. Alrighty. And now we need to add a pinch of sugar just to cut down on the, oh boy, look at the lumps, huh? The weather does it, doesn't it? There we are, a pinch of sugar. What is that? That's 1/4 of a teaspoon, I suppose. That's pretty close. And lots of pepper. And we're going to add a little bit of garlic. What do I mean a little bit? Well, that's really up to you. But I love a good fat clove of garlic in this dish. The chicken will appreciate it. And the broccoli will certainly feel at home. Did you know that if you grow garlic in your yard, it will keep the aphids off of your plants? Did you know that? The tomatoes, for instance, cannot stand to, or the aphids cannot stand garlic, but the tomato loves it. So when the old aphid comes in and hangs onto your tomato plant, why, put some garlic in between. Grow some garlic and you'll be all set. And they'll leave right away. All right, let's dress that salad. Did you get the dressing recipe now? 1/2 cup of milk, 1/2 cup of cottage cheese, and 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. Then we added a tablespoon of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of wine vinegar, a pinch of sugar, a bit of garlic, some salt and pepper, and now the clincher is going to be some dried dill. I absolutely love dill weed, and this will be great on this salad. What is that? Oh, that's a good fat teaspoon, I suppose. And the salad's ready to go. Now, one of you has already said, good Lord, he's not going to use his hands today. Well, this one would get kind of messy, but normally I do use my hands. Isn't this beautiful? You can make this ahead of time. I appreciate the question. Yes, you can make it ahead of time and then store it in the reefer, but I wouldn't do it more than a couple of hours before dinner. You know, you don't want anything to get soggy. But it is a good plan to have everything in the reefer when your guests come, or everything ready on the stove, so that you don't have to go running to the kitchen at the last minute, you see. That's a terrible thing to have to do. Isn't this gorgeous? Chicken and broccoli, and everything is cold and crunchy, dressed with cottage cheese and dill dressing. Lemon juice, perhaps? Yes, instead of the vinegar, you could do that, sure. There it is. Isn't that terrific? I love it. I just love that one. Let's put it out here, and we can go on to the next one, because I'm going to have a whole stack of these. I'm trying to make 6 for you today. We'll see if we get there. Isn't that a beauty? Now, the second one I want to do for you is a roast beef salad. And for a roast beef salad, we're going to prepare our beef. We're going to either buy it at a deli. Let's clean off the cottage cheese and milk here. There we go. There. That was a flake of garlic peel that was stuck on the counter, and that's just terrible when you run into that in your food, so be sure and keep your boards clean. Anyhow, I purchased the roast beef in a deli, or I roasted my own, whichever you prefer. Cut it up into strips. This looks like a little more than I should have cut, I suppose. For your family, probably 1/2 pound would do well, because we don't want to go too far with it. Let's see, another bowl here. There we go. Here's our roast beef salad. Throw the roast beef in the bowl. What else are we going to add? Well, to our roast beef now, we're going to add about 8 stalks of celery, and I have mine, again, already cut up because I have so many salads for you today. 8 stalks, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's plenty. 8 stalks of celery, cut up so that at least they're crunchy and nice, you see. Then we need some green onion, about 6 green onions. I just love green onions and roast beef. It's terrific. And a tablespoon of caper. There they are. You know, capers are these marvelous little seeds that, to me, they taste as a nasturtium smells, but they are not of that nasturtium family. I thought they were. One of you wrote in and set me straight. They're not at all. Okay, we have the 1/2 pound of roast beef, 8 stalks of celery, 6 green onions, and a tablespoon of capers. Now let's whip up a dressing. And for this dressing, I want 1/8 cup of olive oil. We're just going to make a light one here, see? Very light. 1/8 cup of olive oil. Boop. And about the same amount of white wine vinegar. There we are. And then we're going to add some salt and pepper to that. It's very simple, really. A little bit of salt and pepper. There we go. And we need a couple tablespoons of Dijon mustard. And by Dijon, I simply mean a good mustard from France or a French style. That's not a brand, but a kind of mustard. In our culture, the best one for you would probably be put out by Grey Poupon, something like that, you see. It'll say Dijon right in the bottle. It's not all yellow full of turmeric, you see. A couple tablespoons of mustard. And then we want to add a coddled egg. And you know what a coddled egg is? A coddled egg is an egg that's been sitting in hot water. Not boiling, but hot water, the hottest you can get it out of the tap, you see? And this is a coddled egg. That doesn't have the raw flavor anymore. There it is. That's all there is to it. I have one more in here in case I blew the first one, you see. But you need just one coddled egg, and now we're ready to whip that with a fork, and we'll have a lovely dressing for a roast beef salad. There you go. Oh, I love it. I just love it. I really do enjoy this particular dish. My boys are fond of this one, and it's great fun to hear them cheer. Isn't it a kick when the people you love want to give you a hug because the dinner's so good? That's really what I live for. It's the truth. That hug, you know, that hug is just worth everything. Just worth everything. All right, we'll toss the roast beef, the vegetables. We have the roast beef, celery, green onions, and then the dressing that we've prepared. About 1/8 of a cup of olive oil, 1/8 of a cup of wine vinegar, some salt and pepper, a couple tablespoons of Dijon mustard, and 1 coddled egg. And coddled simply means put in hot water so that the raw flavor goes. It doesn't mean that you've cooked it. Now I'm going to transfer that to something more attractive. Doesn't that look horrible in stainless steel? And by more attractive, I mean a nice wooden salad bowl and some lettuce on the outside so that the roast beef doesn't look quite so lonely here. There we are. There. Oh, this is just great. Just terrific. I served this at a big faculty meeting at a Lutheran university in Tacoma one day, and I've never had so many compliments on a salad in my life. There it is, roast beef salad. Got it? Nothing to it. Now, for our third one, my God, he's going to keep going. Yes, we're going to keep going. This one, this is a Norwegian spaghetti salad. Now, you may think that, you may find this a little bit suspicious, but it's really a good salad. Well, can't find enough bowls. We're going to use the same one over again. Don't feel bad if you keep using the same bowl over again. For heaven's sakes, it's perfectly all right, as long as you don't mix the wrong flavors. I have spaghetti that I've already cooked, you see? That's an awful lot here for our salad. I think it'll be all right. And to our spaghetti, we're going to add the following goodies. There we are. We need to add some peas and carrots, and I took them right out of the sack. You see? These are frozen peas and carrots. Took them out of the bag, ran them under hot water, and then drained them. I didn't cook them at all. You don't have to bother. That's terrific. Crunchy vegetables and spaghetti is just marvelous. Now we're going to put some shrimp on top, but our dressing consists of the following. Here we go. We want 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, huh? Mayonnaise. 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, and the same amount of sour cream. And sour cream is just heaven. I just love it. Probably too much butter fat for me. You can use a mock sour cream. You know, I've showed you how to make one out of osterizing or putting cottage cheese in a food blender and just blend it until it's the consistency of sour cream with a little bit of milk, nothing to it, and it'll cut down on your butter content. You see, animal fat content. Now I want 2 dill pickles chopped up. Here we go. These are Polish pickles, by the way. Yours don't have to be Polish, but for heaven's sakes, get crunchy ones. And a couple tablespoons of capers. I just love capers. Maybe a tablespoon will do. You don't have to keep putting capers in everything. You can vary my recipes just as quickly as I vary them. Rarely the same twice. And I'm going to put in a little bit of dill. Again, this is a dill salad, you see. A little bit of dill and some salt and pepper. Very little salt, shot of pepper. And we're ready to toss our Norwegian spaghetti salad. What makes it Norwegian? The dill. That's what. The dill makes it Norwegian. And then there's the shrimp, of course. That's great. Now this time, I'm going to use my hands to toss this. It's going to make an awful mess, but it's the only way I can get the spaghetti to cooperate with the dressing. And you're going to say, well, no wonder. Spaghetti normally isn't tossed with dressing. Well, you've had macaroni salads, so it isn't so weird. It's not weird at all. Is it? Look at that. Look at him go. Oh, this is fun. This is just great fun. Don't make any cracks about my childhood. It's none of your business. Oh, are cooks really children who've never learned to give up mud pies? I don't think so. We all get into marvelous foods and can really enjoy ourselves. There, that's enough. Now, no, just keep your hands clean and keep rubbing them off. It's perfectly all right. It's the only way that you're going to be able to cook rapidly in your kitchen, and that's what frugal cooking means. It means that you keep your time in order and you keep your ingredients in order so that you can really cook away. That's what's important. All right, let's see. Which one does that one go into? We've got to have enough bowls here to keep us going. Here we are. Here's a big glass bowl. I think it will look good in here. So in it goes Norwegian pasta salad with peas and carrots and a lovely dressing of mayonnaise, sour cream, dill pickle, some capers, salt and pepper. And now the thing that we need, aside from some green color, is the shrimp. And I'm just going to throw it right on top. These have been cooked already. You see? And for garnish, I think we better put some parsley on that. And the dish is ready. This is a beauty, isn't it? Ouch, heavy too. Good Lord, it weighs a ton. I don't think I can pick it up. There we are. That'll bring them to the table, I promise. All right, let's go on to another one. Now this one I have stolen from a restaurant here in Chicago called the Berghoff. And they make what they call a steak salad. And the steak comes to the table rather warm, but you see I've cut the steak up into cubes, good steak, and I've seared it already. So it's all set to go. And now all I need to do is to put the steak in the pan and put a dressing on it. It's very, very simple, and it makes a lovely dish, just a gorgeous dish. All right, and here's our dressing. And this one I have to whip up kind of cold. I'm going to try a bit of mayonnaise, see how this works, huh? Try a bit of mayonnaise. We don't want this to be too heavy because the dish should be rather light, you see, to go on the old salad, go on the old beef steak. All right, let's try a bit of sour cream. Just a smidgen. I don't want that to be too heavy. And I'm quite sure that they have some pickle relish in this, a sweet pickle relish, not a dill, the one that I tasted. I'm going to put in a little bit of sweet pickle relish then. And, of course, we've got to have some fresh lemon juice. Don't use something phony from a bottle, for heaven's sakes. A little fresh lemon juice here. There we go. Now, let me mix that up and taste it and see if we have what I want. I'm not sure we do. Did you just get the feeling that sometimes I am writing recipes as we go along? You're very astute. That's the way you have to cook. All right, let's try it. Let's see what we have here. It's terrific. Nope, needs a pinch of sugar. Too sharp. Needs a pinch of sugar. Theirs was a little bit sweeter. And I think they also had a shot of Dijon mustard in this. In any case, mine is going to be terrific. I'm not trying to copy their recipe, nor do I want them to think that I'm trying to copy their recipe. All right, I have some mayonnaise, some sour cream, a bit of sweet pickle relish, some lemon juice, a little bit of sugar, and a teaspoon or so of Dijon mustard. That goes over the steak. Over the steak, yes, the steak is warm, you see, still from the stove. And we're ready to go now. We'll toss that in the dressing, and I'll show you how it's served. You ever seen such a thing? Look at this. Steak cubes in a nice salad dressing. I've got to get a platter with some lettuce on it. They make a very nice presentation of this dish, and I've never seen it anyplace else. It might be German. I expect it is. There we go. And on that, they also offer an egg, a hard-boiled egg, which they just cut in half and put on one side. And we'll do the same. See? And they also have a tomato. And I'm going to have to core the tomato, and I want you to see a gadget that I have. This little gimmick is called a core, tomato core, you see? It's a marvelous little thing. Hohen puts these out. I think they're just a gas. Look at that. You see that? You can't call that complicated or time-consuming, can you? Now we'll wedge up the tomato and put it on the platter, and you have a steak salad that is just delicious. Maybe you want to put a lemon wedge on that too. I don't know. It's a good one, isn't it? I love it. I just love it. Steak salad. All right. How many did we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. The next one that I want to do for you is a sausage salad. And I don't know if you've ever thought of this, but it's very, very simple. Simply grab a bowl and throw into your bowl a bunch of sausages. I'm using a little bit of Polish, already cooked, of course, chopped up. This is a bockwurst. And here's some kosher, these happen to be kosher knockwurst. I love them. That should be enough. Well, why not? Put it all in. That's okay. That's okay. There we go. Now, for this one, I'm going to make a light salad dressing. Get another bowl here. And I'll give you the recipe right now. It's very, very simple, and you can use it for just about anything you like in your kitchen in the way of good salads. You want a half a cup of olive oil, 1/2 cup of olive oil, and you want a half a cup of peanut oil so that your olive oil isn't too heavy in flavor. You know what I mean? Wow, that one's not going to come off of there. When your hands get oily, these corks don't work sometimes. There's half a cup of olive oil, half a cup of peanut oil. You notice I keep all my oils in wine bottles. They're much easier to handle that way. And a half a cup of wine vinegar, a half a cup of red, and a half a cup of white. So we have 2 oils and 2 vinegars in here now, right? Got that? Now our seasonings are going to be very simple. We want a bit of sugar. Oops, oops, oops. Just a pinch. That's just too much. There we go. We want a bit of mustard. You can use Dijon or you can use dry mustard, whichever you prefer. I'm using Dijon mustard. We want some ground fennel. And fennel, I've just finished grinding mine. Fennel is a marvelous flavor. It's something like anise. It's related to the anise or the licorice family. And it gives it a marvelous, just a marvelous, very Italian kind of flavor. Pounded mine up in a good mortar and pestle. You've got to have one of these in your kitchen. You really do. Works very well. And let's see, what else do we need? Oh, some fresh lemon juice, of course. Try and get rid of the seeds here. There they are. Fresh lemon juice. And a bit of salt and pepper, and we have the dressing. Nothing to it. Did you get the recipe? Half a cup of olive oil, half a cup of peanut oil, half a cup of red wine vinegar, half a cup of white wine vinegar, pinch of sugar, pinch of mustard, and a little bit of fennel. You just do this to taste. Some lemon juice, and now some salt and pepper, and you're all set. You can use this on all sorts of good dishes. Just terrific stuff. And we're going to use it on a sausage salad. Good heavens, he's over the edge today. All righty, let's whip that one up. There we go. And I'll put on, I don't need all of this, for heaven's sakes. I've made enough for another salad, too. That should be enough. There we go. And obviously, this isn't going to be attractive unless we put some parsley on it, right? So we'll do that. And we'll toss the sausages in our dressing. The sausages, of course, are cold. There we go. And put this on a platter and bring it to the table. It's a terrific dish. It's marvelous to have some things you know you can fall back on that you don't have to cook. You can have the cooking all done. If you cook 1 day a week, you see, you'll be in great shape. And that's what I advocate. You'd have all the sausage all cooked and ready and cut up in the refrigerator, and so you could throw this one together in a hurry. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, I think it's gorgeous because I love sausages. And there you are. All right, time for one more. I want to make a pea salad for you. Pea and bacon. A bag of frozen peas. You see? Run them under hot water. Then drain them. This is a whole sack full here. You know what I mean. Well, I don't know what that thing weighs. But anyhow, a whole bag of peas. And into that, now we want to add, here we are. We want to add some bacon, which is over here. This is about 4 or 5 sticks. What do you call them? Slices? Isn't that the word? 4 or 5 sticks of bacon. I need some green onion, just a handful. You can do this simply to your own taste. There's very little meat in this one. It's just the bacon itself. And just a couple chunks of celery, not much. Very little celery. There it is. Peas, bacon, green onions, a pinch of celery. And now we're going to add a bit of mayonnaise for our dressing. Just a shot. And a bit of sour cream. We don't need much. We don't need much. Otherwise, this will be too heavy for you. And a bit of parsley. Boop, boop. About like so, huh? All there is to it. And some salt and pepper. There we go. You know, I think most of us really spend too much time cooking frozen vegetables. I don't think we should cook them so much. You read those labels and the instructions are just awful. These are not cooked at all. And that's why they'll be delicious. This is a very popular salad in Seattle, where I hang around in the restaurants often. And I love to make it. I tried it once with fresh peas from the public market in Seattle, the old Pike Place public market. I was raised there, literally on a pickle barrel. That's the truth. And it's a heavenly dish with fresh peas, but with frozen, it's just fine. It's just fine. Here we go. a frozen pea salad with bacon and a light dressing of mayonnaise, tiny bit of sour cream, there we go, salt and pepper, and a bit of parsley. And you've got it. Don't forget the green onions. You might put in a pinch of celery. Now, let me check this one out here. I want to be sure that we have what we want, what I want. See if we need to add anything. It's perfect. Well, I think it's perfect. You want to look at these salads with me again? I'll give you the recipes again. The first one that we've done today is a steak salad that I stole from the Berghoff here in Chicago. Marvelous dish. You have a light dressing that you put on the steak that you've cooked tender. You know, don't cook it too long, for heaven's sakes. Then we have a sausage salad, and you can use your own imagination. I made a vinaigrette dressing, and I tossed it with 3 or 4 different kinds of sausages. Yes, of course you can try it with weenies. No reason not to try it. They're really quite good. Then we have a spaghetti salad with shrimp on top. And it's flavored as the kind of thing I think you'd find in Norway. It's very delicious. Then we have a roast beef salad, which has been tossed with a bit of green onion and celery and a very light mustard dressing. And on the end we have a fresh broccoli salad with chicken. You see, isn't that beautiful? And then the last one that we did just now was the pea salad, which has just a bit of bacon in it and a little bit of green onion and light mayonnaise and sour cream dressing, pinch of parsley. There you have it. The theory behind today's session is simple. Stop spending so much time making so many different courses. A few nights a week you should sit down to one big platter of marvelous food, and this way you can blend all sorts of things together. The meats and vegetables are married together in one nice bowl, and then you're all set. That's it for today. I'm glad we could be together. Until we're together again, this is the Frugal Gourmet. I bid you peace. Bye-bye.